like a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my concern is, right? For Ivy, I feel like you're just gonna have to run at the enemy team, like attack their towers, and pray that that Bald responds and they feel threatened enough to go and defend. I'm assuming, and then make a mistake along the line. No, the lack of damage here is very apparent for Ivy until the Dusa comes online. Maybe low skill can go for. Right, that is gonna be I'm not flaming him. It's just his name is low skill. Maybe low skill can go for a faster build on the Dusa, which would be possible. Like you go for like one really big item early as opposed to the Scotty. Some people like go for the butterfly, for example, earlier because that's more damage overall. Something along those lines to just try to get online as soon as possible, and then you can utilize the DK Mirana better because you can't play a traditional Dusa draft against TB. Like you will be outclassed eventually. So I hope that Ivy has something up their sleeves.
We're going to have to see Team Bald with quite a few moves to make as well, right? With this Nyx, Storm, Wisp, that was their trio of opening picks, accompanied by this early Pango, so plenty of early team fight, plenty of early damage, lots of sustain. Those 4 heroes can certainly make plenty of early space here for Gork, who was scouted here on this early Observer Ward that was placed.
Charlie, by the way, was in the chat and really correctly went, "It's a free TB game," and that's when you know the guy's a carry player. He's like, "Oh, I can just pick TB and win," and he's right. He is very right. No. I feel like Gork is gonna enjoy his game a lot this game.
Yeah, he's even got a Wisp to help buff him up. Not like the best laning partner for a TB, given that he mostly farms with illusions, but you know,
which is why they don't lane together.
Yeah, it still helps.
Yeah, Nyx is gonna be the option instead. I mean, Nyx is also not the greatest laning partner. Mirana and DK might have some kill potential early against. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, there's.
You only have Breathe Fire.
Yeah, there's so much armor in this lane. I mean, Nyx even, he's got 4, which is pretty good for a support hero anyway.
Yeah.
Long arrow. Oh, Gork's not tanking that. Says you can have 1 range creep. I'll allow it.
Yeah, he's gonna be king this game. It's tough. We'll see how Ivy deals with this. I want to see some deviation in the Medusa build to make it faster. I can't imagine what else you can do here. I'm thinking of, can DP deviate into damage? Not really. I can't think of anything unless you go like Ags or something weird like that.
Yeah.
But even that's not really damage.
The 15 talent is pretty good as long as you've got the mana regeneration for it. We've seen that do a lot of work in an SA game in particular. Can't quite remember.
Oh, the Crypt Swarm, you mean?
Yes, Crypt Swarm. Yes, the 15 talent on Crypt Swarm can do a lot of work.
You go for like Kaya and Sanj, I presume, in that build, and then you max.
I believe yes, that's what the build ended up being. Something along the lines. A DP would just pop Exo and run at this TV mercilessly, spamming Ghost at him. It was surprisingly effective. But, you know, lots of uncontrollable damage into a Pango, into a Nyx. Like, I don't know how successful that strategy is this game.
Right. I mean, you could go for the E-Blade build that was kind of used earlier, right? When the E-Blade first came out, a lot of DPs were started building that as, like, second, third item, you know? Of course, the problem is that if you build E-Blade and you happen to not build Yols, for example, Storm sees that and he just goes to Orchid to punish you, even if that build is less popular, right? There's a lot of counterplay that Bald Reborn could use here to kind of punish that. Like, because they know that you're going to do something weird, so they're probably going to be worried about what itemization you got to do. Unless you just let the game go, and in which case I think Bald has a natural advantage, so, you know, no big deal there. Okay, low skill in the bottom lane. That was a Rajix. And Swashbuckle, fully onto him. Shield Crash as well, available. Low skill, really low on mana. Jay and Vincent like, oh, I'm coming, Dusa, please don't die.
Warrior's gonna die.
Punch. Courier is gonna die. Rajix still could be in trouble. Oh, Jay and Vincento's dealing so much damage, but EIXN will keep him alive. Well done.
Nice, elite done, Ixen. Yeah, the only like kind of downside to this lane is that Wisp has to constantly basically reapply the tether because, of course, Pangolier is gonna be one of the more common heroes to break a tether just with his abilities. This is potentially troublesome for Ixen, but Tragix is going to give him an out here if he wants to tether, and he will. First blood is actually top lane. And it's going to be just with the first usage of the Metamorphosis, meta level 1, into a nice stun. And Cube, who has leap charges, might be forced to use a couple, or at least pop the wand. Yeah, they'll get 1 leap charge out from him.
I'm surprised, not gonna lie. I mean, I guess DK on level 1, Dragon's Blood, certainly not enough to tank a Metamorphosis with it, but if you don't win your lanes, man, what's going to happen to this DK? Where's the utility? Where's he going to be good for? Now I guess he can start harassing Gork even more because he's going to get Dragon's Blood level 2 soon, and Gork just lost the Metamorphosis. But I think that giving the first blood to Gork is especially dangerous. He could also play a faster TB if he wanted to and match the Deuce's tempo. If she wanted to do that.
There it is.
Okay. Good deny.
Yep. Good attempt to deny. Max will deny the deny attempt. That's down bottom. Radix gets a kill into JMV.
Okay.
This lane is...
Yeah, the lanes are going their way.
Yeah.
It's not very good. I could honestly just snowball off this. Because the Medusa also is pretty heavily countered compared to TB, right? That's the difference here. Like, the heroes that Team Bolt picked... Sorry, the heroes that Ivy picked was to counter the Storm. But then you got a relatively free... Terrorblade game, whereas the Dusa against the Pango is also a really terrible matchup. It's not even Diffusal Blade, just Rolling Thunder, you can't move, and it's a nuisance every single fight.
Is the build also Diffusal Blade for offlane Pango? So that's just kind of taken over, just because of how much damage
I mean,
it
you
does?
could... there's no coddle here. You could honestly just go for like a team fight Pango and it'd be fine. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but it's in up against a Dusa and a DK and a Treant. Honestly, Diffusal's really good this game.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I see the point for it. I just think it's not quite double dipping, but you also have Nyx Assassin, whose mana burn, right? Mana burn, not mana void.
Sure.
Did get slightly buffed.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I could see a reason for him to go for it. I could see a reason for him not to. I think those are two viable builds for the Pango currently.
If you feel extremely pressured and you've like lost your lanes, I can see a team fight build being more effective early, right? Because the Diffusal Blade's like, okay, a lot of damage, but maybe you can't join your TB. Maybe someone else can build into damage. Like, that's true. It's a little bit double dipping. But if you don't, no need to do that. Gork is doing a great job of blocking the arrow with illusions, by the way.
Nice.
He is going to survive the Star Storm. And he has... Where's the region, Pablo?
Where's my Salve reported? He's banned.
Oh my god, Gork? He's gonna leave the... Is this a carry? What a Chad. A carry going back to base as opposed to harassing the support for region. My respect, Gork. That was a true Dota player.
He's going to be A-OK.
Oh, the Nyx has a salve on a courier as well. Just an insult to injury. Pablo has it now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he purchased it as soon as Gork lives. Cube and DK setting up for a bit of damage here. Luckily, the creep equilibrium has settled such that the melee creeps are going to die. And the wagon is not going to really get any tower shots in, so this shouldn't be too consequential. Oh, but the Cube has snuck around and assassinated a courier. That's the healing salve gone. Gork.
All the effort. This is what happens when you lay him with a 4, not a 5, right? Pablo just doesn't know.
Yeah, very true. He's like, what do you mean I have to buy you a salve? Get your own.
Gork truly showing that even when your teammates don't do what they're supposed to, right? You can carry the game solo. So in the mid lane, though, we've finally kicked out the Storm. This is common. Eventually against DP, you go, do I want to die? Probably not. So I'll let her take tower a bit. And now you aggro the creeps, ball lighting away, because you cannot hold your own against a DP. That's why DP beats Storm in lane. It's not so much the actual laning phase, it's once you reach level 6, right? That's when the matchup starts becoming impossible for Storm.
So they might make a play, but the Invis Rune is going to stop that in its tracks. And once again, it's another kill here down bottom onto the Treant Protector. Radix with this full Orb of Corrosion and the slow, so punishing from Shield Crash, is going to pick up a couple of kills here onto the tree. Mid lane, though, the tower will fall.
He does take it. That's pretty huge. Right, that was a necessity for this team. They need to open up the map like this. Like we said, right, they don't have the bad skill potential, so your best thing is utilize your push. They do have overwhelming push. And in general, the tower difference this game should be massive in the early. Ivy has a much better use of that. It's the one thing that they actually do have. Low skill funds 2 bounties, by the way. That's nice. A little bit of extra gold. I wonder now what Mobe is going to do. I'm assuming go top, probably, and help DK take that tower and probably push Gork into the jungle or even triangle.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. The Crypt Storm damage is very, very punishing early. Once it's max, it's a pretty huge nuke and a very generous AoE. Again, Nyx will reflect a couple of those. You're going to expect it, but even early on, the Spike Carapace cooldown's fairly long, 20 seconds. Yep. So he just gets you once.
That's why I didn't take any points in mana burn, by the way. His lane is, like, it wasn't really that useful. And, oh, wait, Mobe. Could be in trouble. Nice, man. Storm, gonna jump on the
has haste. He could chase this for a while.
He does, you're right. That's why he's had to put a bit of extra harassment. Pablo's joining, just casually walking
taking
through.
The scenic route.
Cube, the courier murder. Oh no! The courier survived. There we go. Cube hates PETA, the worst enemies.
Excalibur is going to at least steal away a Stampy creep from low skill, but there's another little stack going here. So the Dusa is going to be relatively unbothered. DK now has got his Elder Dragon form online and is going to start harassing this top tier 1 tower even more now that Gork has, well, I wanted to say he's left the lane, but he's actually going to come back. Has a level 6 now on the TB, is saving the skill point. We'll see what he can get done here.
I feel like as a TB here, you go, are they really not rotating DP? And there's a part of you that's angry, like they're disrespecting you. They're only using an offlaner to take your tower. But it is the best play to just go jungle and not lose your farm. I can see the point, right? The longer the carry stays in lane, and if you can push out an enemy offlaner, you get a lot of space by just doing that. But he's a DK, man. Like, there's not much you can do. So Gork had that moment of doubt and then realized, yeah, it's better just to go for jungle. They have warded his jungle somewhat defensively, at least with one ward. So maybe they can check what Cube is warding if they're lucky. And if they can de-ward the next offensive ward in the enemy jungle, that's huge. And that'll give Gork a lot of space.
Yep. And just to show you how slow the push is going from Team Bald, granted, this is also a little bit of living armor. I mean, this is just...
4 heroes.
This is so slow. I mean, oh my goodness. Look where DP's farming right now. They can see her on the map. She's farming underneath the tier 2 in the mid lane.
Tower will go down though, finally.
Eventually.
Look, I respect the effort though. They committed to that tower. They put 4 heroes. They didn't leave until that tower was done.
Yeah. It's just incredible. I mean, Ivy, they make the best use of the space, right? Marana is off in the triangle making big mega stacks now for the Dusa. Does manage to get those to double stack again. So that's going to be very nice for her. Dusa might be in the firing line though. Pablo with the first vendetta of the game is going to get eyes on her. Wonder what he's going to end up.
He's just stealing experience, right? Oh, no.
This is bold.
Very bold, but it's kind of working. Low skill's out of mana already. And with the help of the IO, is that enough to kill low skill? No stone gaze just yet. No, he survives. Gork actually gets killed in the top lane.
Oof.
And there's the arrow for Excalibur. Is that the solo kill on Max?
No, I believe someone else was up top lane.
The arrow. Yeah, the arrow. Cube. Okay. Cube used the arrow to get that kill.
DP as well was there, so a nice little silence.
Gotta respect this build, by the way, by Max. He acknowledged that this lane was going to be difficult with meta regardless, so no point in getting more than 2 points in Dragon's Blood. That's the value point. Instead, Max the Breathe Fire. Well done. And that Breathe Fire obviously nets them the kill, and with Starstorm, I presume.
Yeah, really bold play by Team Ball to try and go for that. I was quite shocked, to be honest, that they try and kill Odusa underneath the tier 2 tower, considering there's still a tier 1 mid lane. I
think they tried to force the Stone Gaze. I think that was the idea, but they realized at one point, oh, he really has not put any points in Stone Gaze.
No points in Stone Gaze, level 1 mana shield, right, which is a lot of mana. That's that you're missing, right, because now you get bonus mana per each level, and it's not very efficient. Yeah, and then they lose Gork top, so not the best trade there for Balds.
And you notice, by the way, the DP is going for a BKB immediately, and we're gonna just see this like hyper snowball draft from at least the 4 heroes, right? Dusa's still going for traditional Manta, a bit slower, but the idea is just put as much pressure as possible and take advantage of an early spike before the TB and Storm can come online. That's the one thing you could punish with this draft, right? If you had gone for something that's a faster tempo carry, harder to do this, but with a slower like a TB, no matter how good Gork is, they're going to punish your tempo a little bit. So Ivy knows what their strengths are. They will still be lacking a little bit of damage, though, with a simple BKB on the DP.
Team Balder mighty scouted on this ward, so instead they're going to make the play for Pablo, who tanks the arrow but gets up the carapace. Max wants to hit him just to make sure it is spiky. It is, and kill eventually goes towards Cube. However, JMV, despite having that ward down, is still going to get caught. So he will fall, and that's going to make it at least a support for support. Max now with his own Blink Dagger, and his adversary, Radix, has himself his first item, which was indeed the Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, I think that's the right build this game. I don't feel like you feel threatened enough, especially with the lane that went as decent as it did, that you're forced to go into like a Blink early for some reason. Nyx also offers a lot of what Panko offers, and he can just deviate into being the initiator. He's going for 4 staff, I like it. And Radix that way can scale a bit better. You can still go for Blink second item though, and I would suggest that's the case.
Smoke play out from Balds. Are they smoking on any big item? Triple null tally. I suppose it's the Diffusal reveal here. Pablo has Vendetta, but the jump's been made onto Cube. He's going to use his second leap charge, eventually caught here by the Vortex. Good silence though. He's going to allow Cube to get off the Moonlight Shadow. As Radix rolling around trying to find a target. Hasn't really gone according to plan here for Team Balds.
That's close, actually. Can they turn this? They're going to go for the Pango immediately. The arrow blocked by Nyx. Well done, Pablo. Tanking arrow for the team as low skill joins here. And the Stone Gaze available too, but Yeah, you're good at killing one person. Once you have to divide the damage among 2, let alone 4, no, give up. that's it. You gotta concentrate all your spells on the one hero. At least they didn't commit the Exo there or the Stone Gaze, so that's good. They saved those valuable skills.
Rolling Thunder and Vendetta used for Team Bald. Relatively short cooldowns, you know, comparatively speaking to Dota 2.
Oh, Gork. Okay, Marana revealed herself, which was not great. And now she blocks a camp. Oh no, she does not. She puts the ward in between, so make sure that no camp gets blocked, and then they can vision of Gork the whole time. They gotta reduce his map right now. He's a bit too free, honestly. 14 minutes in, you've taken mid tier 1, you've taken top tier 1. Gork should not be free to farm jungle. Mind you, there is a Storm and Io kind of covering him, so there is some plan by Team Bald.
Yeah, Jam's getting a lot of farm on the Stream Protector. That's what's kind of caught my eye. He does have this Blink Dagger in the quick buy. 1,000 gold off of it is not too bad, I suppose, for a Dream Protector at this stage of the game. Hasn't really bought anything that's going to stick around anyway. Just the Brown Boots speed and the Windlace, everything else being a consumable. As Gork starts up his own Mega Stack.
Get charged from the DK, that's going to be a huge difference for this team.
Yeah.
Finally a way to
damage.
utilize the stuns. Yep. And almost level 12 on DP.
I don't know.
That's probably the strongest power
Did you
spike.
see that? Rajix just took like the majority of the stack there. I don't know if Gork is going to be too pleased with that. He just.
What do you mean? Is not Rajix not the carry?
I can't. You know, Rajix does have a sword. You know, and the.
Right. That's what carries build. What does Gork have? Dragon Lance? Seems like a mid item to me.
Exactly. Max. Just mana burn.
Okay. Stone Gaze, at least to cover his escape, but the Rolling Thunder is a nuisance. And you don't deal enough damage to the Pangos, doesn't matter if he gets turned to stone. Okay, but they want to fight this. And that's with a level 1 Exorcism. That is not as scary as they think, but at least they get Pablo as a result. Just the sound of the Exo was enough to drive Team Bald away. They're like, we're not
They're going to try and convert this into Roche, I suppose. I was also surprised that they used Exo so close to level 12, as well as when the initiation was basically off a relocate, right? Like, you're not... Like, Exo is good in these fights, but it's a long fight. Exo lasts, what, like 30 seconds? What's the duration? It lasts 35 seconds. Like, relocate's 12. You weren't going to kill Storm with level 1 Exo in the duration of that Exo.
Yeah. And now you lost it, and I mean, I saw the point of maybe going to Roche is a decent idea, but I just feel like 12 now gets a free Roche. They saw you use Stone Gate, they saw you use Exo. You have Overgrowth now.
I've got Overgrowth and Fireball, that's about it.
Oh, well, you do have Dragon Form, okay, which DK just activated. That's more of a necessity
Fireball.
as the Fireball. Oh, what a range as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna get this
got
kill.
the Storm here, thanks to the bash of the Marana arrow and the Dragon Tail. Oh my god.
Fireball. You memed on it.
Honestly. We did, but it was,
Don't say we.
clutch there. Why is Pablo... Okay, they don't see him. That sentry's obviously from Dire. But he just walked underneath the other sentry here from Radiant. He kind of knows what sentry is. Gork has already activated Metamorphosis. They can try to find the pit. Reflection for vision. Oh no, don't get hit by the arrow. They all avoid it. Nice.
There's a BKB online for DP. It's a fresh BKB. Still no Exo. This is going to embolden her. Oh, if she can get it off.
And embolden her, but it's too much. There we go. There's the BKB. Silence as well, but she's going to die to the TP like this. She has to walk away. Dosa wants to join in. Great Rolling Thunder by Rajix. Keeps the enemy team at bay. And takes the refusal. There's no mana for Overgrowth. Now with the Mango, he might have enough. Well, they've already killed Pablo.
Here's Excalibur.
Rajix gets
trying to finish Roche. He's going to die. He gets bashed.
And the bash. Oh no. Excalibur. He thought he could get the Roche like that. Is that the second time he dies in the fight? Yes, right? Oh my god. In the same place as well.
Yep, yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Roche hates him. He's bashed him twice into some other stun. Oh my god.
That was really tough to watch. I mean...
I'm glad he's a Dota streamer that doesn't gamble, because he would lose everything.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with luck like that.
Oh god, poor guy.
Yeah. He'd be splitting all the time. Oof. Sounds awful. Well, that's kind of a big L for Team Balds there. We'll see how they look to recover.
That is.
Dusa does not die a single time in
L.
that fight. She gets off 2 Stone Gazes. I was shocked by that. Exo level 2 is now ready to go. They didn't even kill the DP as soon as she activated BKB. She lives because of Spirit Siphon. Very good ability. And she does manage to get out. So not the best usage of the first BKB, but, you know, all's well that ends well, I'd argue, for Ivy. They do secure this first Aegis.
It was well. The thing is that, like, I think tactically the play by Bald was the correct one. You know, you just saw the couple ultimates. It's only Overgrowth you have to deal with. That was a good Rolling Thunder, but there were some small parts, you know, both the positioning, Excalibur as a whole, that just didn't really work out there. And I don't know if we should really fault him for being bashed by Roche, but I also should argue why is he the one, you know, trying trying to solo Roche while his team is so far away,
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, they knew...
I feel like he had more utility
They knew
there.
Roche was low. I suppose he was thinking Roche must be like within less than 400 HP. It
Right.
was a little bit closer
Sure.
to like 800 to 1,000. I didn't quite check. Which this...
Well, the second time, sure, but the first time, why is he the one tanking?
Yeah,
it?
the
That's my
first time,
question.
I think, yeah, you can discuss that as well. I think that's fair. I mean, to be honest, not to say, like, you know, you need a necessary tank in your team, but Balds certainly don't have a good tank. Like, for Roche especially, right? Normally, Pango can
Yeah.
tank up a little bit because of the shield crash, giving you the damage block, but it doesn't work versus Roche. Who else can tank?
Yeah, the Nyx can do that, but Nyx was kind of scouting. Okay, so fair enough. Like, some things kind of turned around, and they were all playing their individual right game, but then they realized they were lacking some resources. Fair enough. And now Gork is the target. They have
trouble.
enough to kill him. They have Fireball now.
There
we
it is.
go.
There's the fireball.
Nothing survives the Fireball, Richie. Best spell in the
Max
game.
gets
They
the
just
kill.
found damage out of nowhere.
Nice, they spent 1,400 damage. I mean, again, we're memeing on it a little bit, or at least you are,
No,
but
it's huge.
it's 3 ticks of damage, 120. I mean, that's damage they didn't have before.
I don't know if you're memeing. I actually think it's huge. It's literally turned their lineup into I stun forever into finally we get kills, right? Like there's something they have like what 6 seconds of stun if they combine the arrow and the dragon tail. You're taking 600 damage on the
I
fireball.
think it's got to be way more, right? I mean, Arrow's a 5-second max stun on itself.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get the 5 seconds. That's why I'm
I
assuming.
think you're gonna get at least a 3-second arrow there.
That's why 6 seconds. That's why I'm
well,
assuming.
okay. It's gonna force a BKB. I mean, that's why you have it, right? To ignore the supports.
Yeah.
Top lane.
Top lane.
Speaking of
Yeah, except
ignoring supports, Excalibur's not gonna stay within tether range, and that'll condemn the Wisp.
Oops, did I leave you behind? Oh, dumb me.
Well, you know what
Yeah.
you know what core players always say. It's always the Wisp's fault if the tether breaks.
Yeah, it is. It is. You should have tethered to me while I was ball lining. I don't know why you suck so much. Get better APM. Excalibur will just go back to farm in the jungle. He's gotta get his BKB. He needs to play faster, right? Because obviously TB can't really do that. I mean, you can kind of play... You can push the lanes more and play with your illusions more, but it's gotta be Excalibur who picks up the slack. Because now Ivy is a real threat. AK lead with this lineup, yeah, that's scary. They can push tower super quickly. Max is looking for the skill here. He's not gonna get it.
Yeah, and Low Skill's actually about to finish off his Eye of Scotty. Kind of a big deal, right? That range slow versus TB as well as the Storm... Well, TB obviously when he's in meta, as well as the Storm Spear. Not to mention it reduces the healing that Wisp is going to be able to output. So it's a fairly significant item here for Low Skill to pick up. Rajix is working on his own Ag Scepter. Pretty normal for this Pangolier build. He is playing it a little bit like a mid-Pango. This was the only concern I had with going for like the damage Pangolier build with the Diffusal Blade, is it's quite a greedy one. It requires you to be winning those fights and getting a lot of farm from them. Whereas the Blink Dagger Yule Scepter, you know, Ag Shard build, although he does have the Ag Shard, I should mention, usually it lets you play a little bit less with more. They just find Excalibur.
Yep. That was the play though. Relocate.
Silence.
Okay. The idea was good though. You need someone to push that lane, and Nyx can't do that. Io can't do that either. Pango can do that, but I think if Pango gets caught with Dragon Tail, he dies too. Right?
Go for
So that's the idea
tree?
behind this.
Can they kill him? Yes, they should
Vincento is
have.
probably dead. Yeah. But here's the strength of having a dead lane 5, right? You can just sacrifice your 5, no big deal. 5 dies, whatever. Pablo actually does the result. That was good. Good rotation by Max. And on top of that, you might be able to kill Rajix. You have Soul Ring and Blink Dagger. That's enough for a Dragon Tail. Gork Illusions are coming.
Yep, Gork Illusions are coming.
Not the real
Low
one.
Skill, by the way, just demolishes
There's
the
the
tier 2 mid lane through all this. He doesn't care.
Well done. Well done. The kills are starting to work out.
It's a 2-for-1 trade. They get Excalibur for free in the top lane, and only the Dream Protector is going to die. He has finished farming up his Blink Dagger, though, so he's actually an even bigger threat. That's Overgrowth. Works a little bit differently than most roots. It disarms you, and it is completely dispellable, but it also cancels channeled abilities. It issues a stop command as soon as it catches you. Storm cannot be caught through Ball Lightning as if he's inside of it, but everyone else is going to be very vulnerable to it.
I mean, right now I feel like Ivy's been playing their map control really, really effectively, right? From how they play the dead lane to how they play the tower control, how they've abused the map a little bit. I think they've been able to really take Team Bolt down. And now Team Bolt is finding a situation where it's hard to see because you guys are watching in spectator mode, right? But it honestly does feel like they have no space to farm to them, probably. They have very little wards because they've been dewarded constantly. Gork is constantly forced back into his jungle, which is not ideal. It's not, again, not really up to him. It's just that Ivy's all over the map. So it probably feels very oppressive for them. That's also why they probably gave Excalibur dead lane farm, because like, mate, like he has to farm somewhere. The trick with the IO is a good idea to at least secure Excalibur sometime or some item here.
Yep.
And he finally has BK.
And I've toggled on over to Dire Vision for Team Ball Vision just to get an idea of what you're looking at. Rajix even, he drew on the map like, guys, they're going to take the tower, they're going to siege tier 2, and then they're going to sweep across the map through our triangle. Like, he literally drew it. Or they're just going to kill him. As silenced and caught, even popping the Exo here just to secure it. Rajix will die.
Right. Worth, right? You need some sort of damage there to kill him. That was a good idea. And now you can even take a tier 2. I did notice, though, they have a very offensive wards here. I'm not really sure if that's to take over the enemy jungle, which is a possibility, because they're playing in your side of the map, right? So you just farm in theirs. Or is it a way to like get some counter kills here off the Storm with the relocate ganks, perhaps? It's hard to say, but those are not being very useful vision, because Ivy is just in your part of the map right now.
Yeah, they're unlikely to be dewarded, but I'm also unsure of how much intel they're going to really give you, or actionable intel.
Maybe the rotational, right? So you kind of know when the enemy team is farming, right? And when they're being aggressive.
Yeah.
And that could be...
That's what I thought as well, but Ivy are going to farm on Dire side of the map, and when they come back, they're going to come back from the Dire side of the map. I don't really see them TPing home and TPing from a tier 2 where those wards would actually pay off and give vision. Just the way that this game is going. I mean, such is the lead that Ivy have amassed.
Yeah, so...
like, for example, here comes Max, right? Like, he is picked up on the ward during the tail end of it, but ideally you put a ward down like this so you can scout people coming to the tier 2.
But here's the point, though, and to add to this is this. When you're in this position, you feel like the whole map is just out of control, right? You're trying to get wards that don't get dewarded because you know the enemy team is probably putting sentries all around, right? Like, they stopped putting sentries in the enemy jungle, but you don't know that. So, because you don't have the gold to afford to be able to just go and sentry your whole jungle, or the time more important than your supports. The IO can't go ward. The IO has to go with a Storm the whole time. That's a really good example of how map pressure can choke a team. And it's not really up to Team Bolt. It's more up to Ivy and how they control the map and the well-utilized DP and Dragon Knight. We talked about the overwhelming push of this lineup. That's how you play a push lineup. And the Dusa has felt zero pressure. She hasn't had to deviate into any build. She went full Scotty, now full Butterfly. But it's only because of her team's efforts and the fact that now she's, 6k above the TB.
Yeah.
She doesn't farm faster than Gork. It's just they have more map.
TB, who, by the way, now has achieved his own item. He's got his own IF Scotty, so this is finally his first big item, right? Dragonlance, Yashub, kind of just transitionary items right out of the laning stage. So they do increase the farm efficacy quite a bit, but on their own I wouldn't really call them major turning points. This one is. The Scotty's huge for him.
The Butterfly.
Scotty for TB. Gork now has it.
Oh, sorry, my bad. So yeah, you're right. Hopefully...
Good jump.
I don't know if Butterfly will cover this.
Perfect.
Okay, good kill on DP. From behind though, Dusa feels strong enough now to fight. She does have Stone Gaze here. But the Pango's scary. If they get her into the pinball zone, okay, Rajix kind of forced her. Low skill acknowledges this, going back to the high ground. Smart, but ooh, the tail end of the Impale catches her. The Overgrowth is forced. Low skill. Need the Magic Wand for the Stone Gaze. Need some sort of team fight here. Low skill holds on to it. Doesn't want to use the Magic Wand just yet, but he's in a pinball zone again. Goes up to the high ground. Low skill. Trying to cover himself. Magic Wand's been used, but the mod has been taken away. No Stone Gaze. Dusa will die. Rajix on point, sacrificing his life for that kill, very valuable. And this could mean... No Rosh, 1 minute.
Yeah, no Rosh quite yet. It's not going to be truly the game turned here for Team Bald. But Pablo with another secondary jump, so he will nuke down Cube. That'll extend this timer a little bit and maybe give them just a little bit of an edge that they need for Rosh, at least a tier 1 tower. Fantastic jump from Pablo to really kick that one off on the Nyx Assassin. I'm just cutting a replay of it now, but nuking through the DP and immediately making it a lopsided fight is just, I mean, it's exactly what Team Baldwin needed to get back into this game. The Scotty, of course, is huge. It's a big damage increase for TB, but making this an uneven fight was really the key to victory. Now they finally take that tier 1 tower in the mid lane. This ward that they have in the triangle is going to really start paying dividends now that the next objective becomes Roche. That ward is all of a sudden super relevant because of the fights that Bald just won.
Yep. Huge fight. I thought the Butterfly would come into play more, but the positioning was not great. Oh, and DK now in trouble. They have enough damage to burst the DK though. That's a tough one. Excalibur is certainly trying. Excalibur realizing he will not succeed. EIXN. There's your TP cancelled. Storm does get the TP away. Gork could be in trouble. There's the Nature's Grasp. Pablo out of mana. Arcane Boots though in 6 seconds. That might be enough, but the silence hits both. Bell, sorry, is gonna be chasing them down. Pablo in trouble, but Gork at least gets away. So Pablo tanks this gank for his carry. Good. As you go for the Roche now.
Yeah, hell hath no fury like these Roche bashes. He's just been bashing like crazy. Bald.
Yeah, if you're a mid laner, you get bashed. That's how it works.
Them are the rules. Roche doesn't make them. He just hates mid laners. So he's got us, you know, watch the mid lane matchup from his pit. It's the only source of entertainment he has. And every time he has to watch DP, he just wants to claw his eyes out. More of this hero, really? Second Roche, though, securely going towards Ivy with the Aghanim Shard is going to be DP, so the extra charge of Spirit Siphon, which now applies a fear after 3 seconds? Yeah. So a very good one. Of course, Dusa retains the Aegis.
She does.
Bangalore starting to be quite the boss in these team fights as well, doing plenty of damage. The disarm making a big difference against the Dusa. She did not go for a casual dispel, but actually that's a lie, has the Manta style. But outside of that is going to suffer a little bit when she doesn't have that to this disarm. It's incredibly annoying. And you're basically guaranteed to land one if you hit him with a swashbuckle.
I feel like Regis has played a pretty solid game overall. I really enjoyed his Pango here. I got a question, like, there is the point that Ags is much slower, even though I do love the Ags. Blink could have been maybe more useful for early fights, but I think the logic was here that there's no way we're going to win a fight regardless, right? So whatever I do here, it's just going to be like he'd rather go for Ags and be able to split push lanes a bit more effectively and gain some more space than go for the Blink Dagger and maybe win a fight if they're lucky against a team like Ivy who literally itemized entirely to win now, right? It's tough. And we're even seeing BKB on Dusa. Not the most common of items against the Pango though. Mwah. Love it.
Yep.
You definitely need this. Pango is just gonna die to you now because you're a ranged hero. You deal a huge amount of damage. Pango rolls in. He thinks he can stun you. All of a sudden, BKB, he dies, and the team fight's done for Ball.
Yeah, now it's even more crucial for Pablo to get these initiations correct. If he does, there's a chance you can continue to pinball low skill. There are no saves for him, only living armor, which is going to help, right? But mostly is going to be a non-issue versus the Pango's damage and Cork's damage if he's free to just let loose. So Pablo, he's got a very heavy load on his shoulders to get these initiations correct. I don't even think like a Storm Zip in is going to be fast enough. I think the BKB is probably going to be ripped before he can really get the Vortex down. It's got to be Pablo.
Max, okay, go for Rajix. There's the help from the Mirana. Cube has an arrow, but Rajix, intelligently enough, just roll up. Obey is here. Oh nope, they found Pablo. He's been dusted. Yols try to get the dust off. Do they have any sentries or anything like that? They do have a second. Okay.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, sorry, that was offensive Eels. My bad.
Yes, it was an offensive Eels. Who has it? I believe it's Marana. Yeah.
Marana. Yeah. I was confused. I was like, wait, why do they stay invisible after the Eels? Sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah, Vendetta, undispellable. It'd be very mean if you could just get hit by a tornado and you lose your invis.
Yep.
And low skill wasting no time. He's immediately back up to high ground. To kill onto Pablo is as much as an opening as I feel like he needs, and I'm inclined to agree with him.
Yeah, honestly, what stops her?
Well,
I think the butterfly also allows her to do this. If they go for the DP first, and the team fight becomes difficult. But if Deuce is the tank,
they're gonna make a play for him. They cancel the TP. Nice. They see Ixen first, and Max is going to just go right on to Ixen. Yeah, Ixen.
Yeah, I'm not honestly sure.
Storm's going to just zip and TP away. Excalibur, who, by the way, he's done a great job of cutting waves. He's now got this BKB online. He's had it for a while, of course. We've already seen it in action once. And he's got the point booster already in his inventory, making decent progress towards this Ag Scepter, the budget black hole, the AoE Vortex.
This build is also I didn't have the greatest game of Storm, you know, like a little bit poor, but I still want to have an impact immediately. You go for the easiest items to have an impact with, right? He already went for the shard on top of that. Just wants to make sure that he can be useful in the next couple minutes.
They did see his blink effect.
There's shard on Vincento. There you go. Yep.
Oh, Max.
They have overgrowth.
Couldn't find him on the...
So if he TPs.
Beautiful projectile. Doesn't slow Rajix, though. And he's gonna... Oh, yeah, he snags the bounty. He says, I'll take that one, please. To go. And he is out of there.
Rajix is actually taking them for a ride here. It's been the second time he does something like this.
Excalibur finally has level 18, so level 3 Ball Lightning makes his game a bit easier to play. Oh, whoa, Max. He wants to Pango
Yeah, I
it.
think you gotta kill him. Yeah, commit for it. There we go. Look at him. They even have an Orchid here just in case. So Pango's dead. There's the damage from Max just in case. Storm
Cutting waves, I think.
trying to cut the lanes. Excalibur. Oh, no, he got caught by the root here. You have an overgrowth as well. But instead, he just baited it.
Oh, no.
Wow, Vincento just played around with Excalibur. Oh, yeah, are you lost? Yeah, you get to say that line now, man. That was really
I mean,
good.
Excalibur didn't even try and Ball Lightning away. He was just attacking creeps, I think.
Well, because the overgrowth stops the animation halfway through, right? So he's trying to like bait it out and then use the BKB to get out, right? That was actually so good. Like, if you stop the animation halfway through, you lose like, a valuable second, and when you can use the BKB.
I'm surprised he gets him there, to be honest.
Oh, me too. But I mean, the play in general was questionable to begin with because you're not free this game, right? There's a lot of stuns.
Gork
They have countered the Storm very hard.
Gork's got MKB. No buyback though. He's bought out for this item, but at least now he can hit the
He
deuce.
had to. Yeah. If you fight and your both lives are worth 0, what are you gonna do with that, right? At least make one of your lives worth like 0.5. So that's BKB on the Dusa though, which makes it so difficult to initiate. You need Rajix to come back. Okay, and patience as well from Ivy. Man, this team has gone, I mean, not to say they were bad in the beginning, but they've gone a lot better. I'm seeing, like, honestly, really good plays by them in general this game. It's not easy to play a lineup. Like, it's easy to play a lineup with DK and stuff, but the weaknesses they've had this game, they've really covered nicely, and they played a good snowball game. That was a good team. I'm happy for Ivy, dude.
Yeah, they're looking real good. Game 1, 21k lead. Team Bald making the Pizale, the move of last resort, as they will smoke out from the base now. Gork buffed by the Wisp. They see low skill. He's a little bit lower on the mana. This could be a possible jump. A low skill. He's going to catch wind of this one coming. That is going to be an immediate BKB. So no Rolling Thunder here for a couple more seconds, and the smoke play is going to be unsuccessful from Bald on the first go.
I think you just wait for Roche if you're Ivy, right? That's a smart play. Oh. Okay, let's see. Max activates BKB, wants to kill Pablo first, and they will get him. One sorcerer team fight. Do they have heals? They do. And the tether not going to be used because here comes Vincento with his, Vincento, sorry, with his shard.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen a shard, and it looks really good. It's actually quite convincing.
Yeah. I think he had the right idea this game, right? Just take advantage of your stuns, dude. Just stun. You cancel the Storm and Pango this way. Only TB is kind of free, but his lane didn't go as well as you'd expect, so he didn't really snowball. And the moment that Dusa just beats the TB by 9k, it doesn't matter what the core-to-core matchup is. 9k is too much.
And here they go. They're going to force the buybacks. Pango also has buyback, but the 2 cores without it.
Oh, there's the Aram Disco on the TP, so it's hard to kill. Low skill. That's away.
Straight onto Gork.
That's the fear. Yeah, so they send Gork away. They're trying to prevent the Sunder, though, and they know this. Blink Dagger from the TP. Here comes Rajix trying to get the retreating members of Ivy, but they're resetting up in this team fight. TP by the Dusa, actually. No, they're not resetting. They're just leaving the DK behind as everyone else retreats back home.
Okay. Team Bald needs a short respawn timer for Roche. We won't know. They won't know. No one knows for another 5 more seconds. We'll get to know what the timer is going to be after that. If it's a 10-second Roche timer, they might have a way back in this game. If it's any longer than that, things get really spicy.
Oh,
it's a long one. It's 2 minutes. With luck like that, Gork. Oh man.
What have they done, dude? Did Gork beat?
Did he use all of his?
Arkosh or something?
Did he use all of his luck elsewhere? I don't understand. I mean, this is frankly quite unlucky.
2 minutes, man. I feel like it was 1 minute or even 1 minute 30 wouldn't have been that bad. Because then you got meta right off, right? You just forced a bunch of ultimates. Well, no, it would have been the same, right? Because Exo and Meta have similar cooldowns. Yeah, no, it had to be like 15 seconds or 30 seconds. I guess it's not that unlucky, right? Because the realm of possibilities that would have won you the game were only, what, 2 out of like 6 or so, or of 8?
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But that was definitely just comedically unlucky. That was specifically 2 minutes. This is close to the longest time.
3 minutes being the longest one. Ivy, of course, they have no information on Roche, so they're going to have to assume that it's being done by Team Bald right now, and that their hopes of staying in Division 2 rely on interrupting this Roche fight. So they're going to immediately make the play towards the Roche pit, smoked up, Moonlight Shadow, and he's not home. Okay, we can take a deep breath.
They're checking up. Oh, this is why they're not winning yet. Okay, makes sense. We have the Ags on the Murano, which is interesting, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't really see I mean, I guess, you know, more damage is always welcome in this lineup. I feel like they've itemized correctly to do that. Okay, what are you doing? Cube. Cube, you're solo. Is he baiting here? Oh, they just feel so confident. Wow.
And he's out.
Yeah, just look at that.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like what was it? Didn't like Sumail buy this mid lane on Mirana, or was that old Mirana Ags? There used to be like some that was when it was on Starstorm, I remember. Yeah. It was like active Starstorm would just like proc on creeps, like nearby, kind of like how Epicenter works. You would just get like a mini Starstorm every now and then. But that was the old one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how good this one is, but I mean, Cube's a Grandmaster tier Mirana player, so he's buying it in a winning game. I assume it's because he really likes the item. He thinks it's good.
I think it's a good item.
Roche?
I think it's a good item.
Roche has
just
spawn.
in some games. With Exo. Yep, there we go. Shivas. Okay, they're going to go for PGB use, but kill the IO. Make sure the IO goes down, and they do get the IXN in addition to Excalibur for free. Rajix and Gorka just destroyed.
GG.
No chances there. I think they realized how outclassed they were this game, right? With a net worth lead there in that fight. Once they got the jump, Ivy just had an easy game. Really well done. Really well done by Ivy, though. Commending them. I was very impressed by their plays. I think they played a really good macro game. They took advantage of the push really well.